to intentionally take our journey. Now, when I say that word, when I use that word intentionally, what do I actually meaning? Meaning, I think of every little thing that I begin to do. I process everything that I do. We have to think about our responses. We need to think about everything that we begin to do. And deep discipleship is again focused on the inner life and not just on external behaviors. We can't just keep fixing up the external behaviors. We have to reach out. Now, how do we do that? How do we do that? Three fundamentals. The target of deep discipleship is to help our children apply biblical truths in real life. That's the target, that's the goal. If we can help our children apply biblical truths in real life. I've heard this statement many a times, you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. I just want to say this. Knowing truth doesn't set you free. Truth applied, that sets you free. People forget the next part of that verse where it says, when as the truth you keep doing it, then you will bear fruits. So truth does not change lives. Truth applied, that changes lives. So our focus in deep discipleship is application. Application is going to be very crucial. Our conversations with our children when we disciple them, our conversations with our teenagers when we disciple them should be not about what did you hear, what did I say. No, it's about how did you apply what you heard. How did you transect what you heard into real life? How did you, that principle that I taught you, how did that verse that you met this morning or you were reading it, how did you apply it in your everyday life? So, truth applied changes life and not just knowing the truth. The target of deep discipleship is biblical foundations, the biblical truth. The children able to apply biblical truths. The test of deep discipleship is how our children respond during crisis. That's the test of deep discipleship. How our children respond during crisis. This is a beautiful picture. Sometimes when I talk to teenagers, I give them that picture. When you are in a crisis, when things are squeezing you, what comes out of your mouth is what you're filled of. When crisis squeezes you, what comes out of your life is what you're filled with. If we fill that life with the right things, I think the right things will come out during crisis. So the test of deep discipleship is how our children respond during crisis. So if you're going to disciple someone, if you're going to disciple your children, if you're going to disciple the teenagers, watch out for a crisis. And during the crisis, see how they respond. What's going to come out of that place of crisis? So the target of deep discipleship is children applying biblical truths. The test of deep discipleship is how our children respond during crisis. And the time needed for deep discipleship is, now this is a question I get asked all the time by parents. How long does it take, how long will the change happen? My answer is very simple. My answer is as long as it takes. Because the children are very unique, very different, very special. Maybe your daughter might pick up things much faster and run with it, but your son may not pick up things much faster and run with it. It's as long as it takes, the time needed for deep discipleship. We can't set a time frame. We just have to keep walking with them. We just have to keep walking with them. I mean, I'm just so amazed when I read about the Gospels and read about Peter. I mean, Jesus was so patient with him. I think he followed the principle with Peter, as long as it takes. This guy didn't get it. He didn't get it. Even just in the last, when Jesus was buried and all of that, the first person who actually said, I'm going to go for fishing was Peter. Who said, I'm going to go for fishing. And then the other guy said, okay, we are also coming with you. But Jesus didn't still leave them. He was keep coming behind.